Mariners and Indians are facing off in Seattle tonight, and we have our own MLB expert, Dave Golikoff, on the line to help us break this one down. Now, Dave, got to say I'm happy to see the return of Corey Kluber that we all know and love. He's given up 2 runs in his last 3 and absurdly struck out 37. Forget what his cumulative stats are right now because he is certainly back to Cy Young form. Now, Dave, I see him keeping this up. Remember the last time we doubted him, he struck out 18. Are you seeing what I'm seeing out of him right now?
Yeah, I think Corey Kluber's good value in this spot. And really, he hasn't been that bad this season when he was bad. I mean, he did go astray for maybe 4 starts, but started the year pretty well, gave up 6 earned runs in his first 3 outings. In his last 3 outings, he's been nearly untouchable, 2 earned runs in those outings, 1 complete game, going at least 8 innings in each start. He's making everybody whiff. With a total of 37 strikeouts in that span. Looks pretty good, and you don't have to lay a huge number with him, so I think it's probably the play worth leaning towards here.
All right, now the Mariners have their own hot arm on the mound. James Paxton has 5 quality starts in a row. While his contact rate is a little bit high, playing half his games at Safeco is a dream for a ground ball pitcher such as him. He has some hot bats behind him right now, and he looks to keep the Indians off the board till both he and Kluber are out of the game tonight. Do you see that happening?
Well, I think if you're betting the Mariners, you're looking at a couple things. First of all, Cleveland on the year does not hit lefties particularly well. If you've bet the Indians against lefties every single game this year, you're 7-11 and you've lost 4.1 units. So that's a bit of a concern. You mentioned Paxton, he's pitched well, yes, and I think it's worth highlighting the momentum of the teams coming into this game. Mariners have won 5 of 6, all of them on the road, but now they're coming back home. Indians have dropped 2 of 3. They just finished up a series against Texas at home. Now they got to fly out to the West Coast. So those are some of the factors you're looking at if you like the Mariners. And, of course, Paxton, as you mentioned, has pitched well, 1.33 ERA this month. So it's going to be it looks like it'll be a tight game, but there's definitely some arguments to be made here for Paxton and the Mariners.
Absolutely. All right, Dave. Well, even with the Indians' average offense and the Mariners' bats heating up, I like the Indians' chances in this one. But with these 2 pitchers playing so well and this game taking place at Safeco, my play is going to be the under. What's your advice on betting this one, Dave?
Yeah, under's not a bad play. It's definitely something I considered. I think a lot of people will be looking at that. I guess what kind of scared me off it a little bit is the sharp money's kind of been on the over to start. The total started at 6.5, climbed to 7, which is where I see it at, which is fair. I mean, in many ways, 7 and 6.5 very low totals for a baseball game. So I'm going to go with Cleveland. I think they're the better play here just because I like Kluber a little bit more than I like Paxton. When Kluber is on, he's really tough to beat, and he's been on the last 3 games or so. So I'm going to rock with him. I think that the Indians get back on track tonight after a little bit of a rough series in Texas, and I think they beat the Mariners.
All right, Dave, taking the Indians on the money line tonight behind the reborn Corey Kluber. Thanks for that pick, Dave. And remember, guys, for all your daily MLB winning picks, be sure to check back with us every single day at SPRvideo.com.